Hey friends, welcome back. Has 2020 gotten your attention yet? Has this year gotten your attention about what matters in life? I think it probably has. We're going to talk today about the next steps to move forward because I believe 2021 is going to be 10 times worse. Hey y'all, I thought this would be a welcome change from our garden talks, and we'd have a discussion today outside next to the chickens. Friends, 2019 lulled us all to sleep. We thought it was an absolutely fantastic year. 2020 hit, and obviously things changed a lot. So has 2020 changed your mind? Has 2020 changed your mind about changing your lifestyle? I think it has for a lot of people. And what I wanted to say to you is we're here to help. So we've been doing this for about 5 years. I grew up in the country, I moved to the city for a long period of time, and didn't lose all the knowledge of all the skills, but I've had to retrain myself in how to do things. So what I'm saying to you is similar to one of my other videos, is that I think now is the time. If you're thinking about leaving the city for a country lifestyle, leaving the city, and going off-grid, whether it's off-grid or not, it doesn't matter. Getting away from just a mass of people where things are more likely to happen and to be an issue. And we see that happening just every single day now, right? I think our country is kind of at an impasse. I think the thought process of people on the left and the right is becoming so far apart that I see violence. Oh, I don't want it to happen, but I see violence happening, and I see it happening more. I think it's going to happen more. I mean, just look at yesterday. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Violence is not the answer, right? So what happened, I think it was yesterday in D.C., there was a million MAGA march or whatever in support of the president, and there were counter-protests, and those counter-protesters beat, threw punches, knocked out, left people unconscious, including women, including a woman who was pushing a baby in a stroller, and she was there to support the president. So this behavior is sinful, and it is spurned by Satan being here on the earth, sin being on the planet, and the fallen angels being everywhere. So God is only loving, his government is love, and having love for your fellow man is the way that we're supposed to conduct ourselves. And that's not happening because I believe we're getting closer to Christ's second coming. So being spiritually ready is a personal thing, and that's totally for a different video. But what I wanted to talk to you today is about your preparation now. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay where the violence is probably going to get worse? Are you going to stay where the food shortages will more than likely get worse? Toilet paper is already disappearing again. And remember, we talked about any grocery store in the city or suburbs only has about a 3-day supply of food. And that's on a normal basis. So if people make a run on these institutions, that 3-day supply of food is cut down to about 3 hours. So I encourage you to have some saved up for your family, but you gotta leave. You gotta get out. You got to move on. What's the first steps that you can take? Well, it's going to be employment, right? So a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck nowadays. And that is really disheartening. And it was us a few years ago until we discovered Dave Ramsey and more biblical principles about the borrower being slave to the lender. We started paying off our debt. So that is the very first thing that you can do right now. Go on his website. He's got systems to help you no matter how much money you make or have. He's going to help you get out of debt quicker. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is to get on a written budget and make sure you know where your money goes, and don't spend money on frivolous things that do not matter. Pay off your debt so that you can get out quicker. You can move quicker, and it's not going to be an impediment for you to move. I'm sure the second thing you're probably thinking about is employment. So employment is important. I left my career. My wife has a career where she can kind of go anywhere, which is nice. Mine does too, but the earnings potential at my level was lower than hers. So She's taking care of the income, although I do make money from this channel, and I'm thanking you so much for being here and watching, because that helps out a lot. So does liking and sharing the video. But friends, start making a list of those practical steps that you can take. So if it's employment, start looking for another job in a remote place, or look for the opportunity to work remotely from home or work online or something like that. I know we all have different careers, and for some of us it is going to be more difficult, but those are the first things you've got to take care of, are getting out of debt so you can take a pay reduction if you do move somewhere that's more remote. So remote places aren't going to pay as much, obviously, as being in the city itself. So when we moved here, we took about a 50% reduction in pay. So I left my job, and my wife did get another job, but it was obviously at about 2/3, obviously a reduced rate. It was at about 2/3 of what she made working in Houston. Friends, put those wheels in motion. Do it now, because you might not have an opportunity again. Always think that there may not be another opportunity, because things happen quick. All these things happening this year have come out of the blue, and they're going to continue to come out of the blue. Now, whoever sits in that White House seat next year, I think there's still going to be some extreme tension between people, and I don't think that's going to let up. So I think I've said that before, but it is weighing on my heart, because I have friends who are still living in the city, and things are happening around them, and they're not lighting a fire under their rear end. They're not moving. So I'm going to talk in a future video about specific skills that you need to start to acquire and become an expert in to be able to move out. But I don't want that to discourage you, because those skills can be acquired quickly. When you're immersed in something, it gives you the ability to really focus on it and learn quick about gardening, about, you know, whatever it might be out here on the homestead. The number one thing is providing food for your family. So once you get out here, now you got to provide food for your family, because those same grocery stores that were in the city that are out here in the country, they have even less of a supply of food at those stores, because they are remote. So we live outside of a small town that's maybe 20 miles from Tyler, Texas, and they have one small grocery store. It's not well stocked, and that store will run out incredibly quickly, and it won't get restocked as quick as those in the city, if it gets restocked at all, right? If the ones in the city get restocked at all. So be prudent and plan. Start to write things down. Start to take a journal. What do you need to do to get moving now? What are those first things you need to do? Get out of debt. Find a different job. Find a country property. Don't go overboard on the country property. Don't, you know, if you're living in a whatever size house, say it's a 3,000 square foot house in the city, don't look for that same thing out in the country. Downsize. Reduce the things that are in your life, right? We downsized when we came out here. We cut our mortgage, and wow, it was well more than half. Probably, it was maybe 40% of what it was in the city. Do those things. Give up the material garbage, and it'll make things go a lot smoother for you. So don't think you can have what you had in the city out here in the country. Maybe you can, and that's cool if you can, but a lot of people can't, because they're actually poor. But a lot more of you are poor than you think you are, because you are all slaves to lenders. You're extended out so far, you have so much debt that if things got cut off today with your income and you were not able to pay, you'd be in serious trouble. That's why being debt-free is hugely important. You need to do that now. And if you're listening to this and you are really, really poor, you don't have much at all, sometimes that's easier to pick up and go, but sometimes not, and I do understand that. And I want to encourage you to seek out people that can help you, church groups. You know, there's a lot of Facebook groups where there's people that are looking to move out and buy a property together. Be careful when you do that. You got to really know people when you're doing that, and I talked about that in a previous video. But there are ways to move forward, and I don't want you to think that you're stuck. I want to encourage you that you can do it. So that's it, friends. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you need me to point you towards some of those Facebook groups, a lot of them you can find. They're like Homesteading, Homestead and Sustainability, things like that. They're out there. There's a lot of them. And there are people who are willing to help. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Take those first steps and move. Get moving. We hope this has been helpful. We hope it's been encouraging. We love you. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.